All right, so here's a three-person serve receive, and basically what we did was I took Sid here. These are their normal positions, and the setter gets pushed forward, and then the other three people just kind of make a little V shape around here. Normally, this person cuts off short because they have the angle to the setter, and this person would cut off short, and Meg here is in charge of middle back and then basically all of this area back here. Okay, now let's say Meg sucks and she's just getting eat up serve receive, and it's just the situation that I'm in. So what I would do is I'd pull Meg back and say, hey, you just call in out, you don't go for anything. Caroline, you come back here and you play this position, and Meg, just call in and out, get out of the way of Caroline, but Caroline, make sure that you know that anything above your waist here is going to be out, so it shouldn't be, Meg should not be an issue. So here's my three-person serve receive. Now the other thing that you could do is say, okay, well dang it, this isn't working. All right, so what we could do is we can go to a four-person serve receive, and making sure that all of our people are okay. You could make Kat and Nat slide over just a little bit, and then bring Caroline right in here. And then that kind of gives you a four-person serve receive where you make a little bit of a bucket, a U here,
Okay.
to take care of this spot. And again, you just watch an overlap. So Caroline here was middle front. She has to stay to the left of Kat. She has to stay in front of Meg and to the right of Sid. So as long as you don't violate those rules for rotation, then you should be good to go. And then there's really nothing else that we can do.
Olivia and Meg have no bearing other than Caroline can't be behind them.
Caroline, the only person Caroline has to be in front of is Meg.
Okay.
Okay. So
how do you, like, on a situation like this, how do you call that? How do you tell them?
Well, I'm sorry, Olivia. It was Caroline had to stay in front of Olivia. I would practice this in practice.
Okay.
And I would say, okay, girls, right now we're going to go. Okay, so first of all, we've got the setter pushes forward. That means that everyone shifts over, and the front left comes back to serve receive. Now, after they serve receive, they immediately go outside here to get ready to hit. So that's their first transition, is they have to serve receive first, then go out here to hit. So this person's moving this way to come out here to hit. This person's coming back here to hit. Natalie shifts right over here, and then Kat comes over here to hit. Meg should be sliding over here to hit, and Olivia slides over here behind Caroline to hit. So all these become hitters in these spots. Okay. But previously we just had serve receive. The serve receive was this: Caroline, Sid, Kat along the front, Natalie, Olivia, Meg along the back. We push forward Natalie so she stays behind Kat and to the right of Olivia. Olivia slides over here. Meg takes middle back. Sid comes back here. So this is our three-person serve receive. This is what we would practice as our normal serve receive. And then we say, okay, we've got an emergency situation. Meg, you just call it in or out. And Meg doesn't even have to be that. It could have never been served to Meg, but we want to give the server a different view. So this might confuse the server. So I bring Meg, let me get rid of Bree. Meg back, and then Caroline stays in front of Meg, and she still, is to the right of Sid and to the left of Kat. So this just gives the server something different. It could confuse them, especially if you've got a player back here that's just calling it in and out is not in play. And they're not really used to that, so that could be an advantage. I mean, after about 4 points, you call a timeout. The other thing that you can do is just do a substitution. You just slow the game down. Say, okay, it could have been for nobody really in the back row. You could have just substituted Kat out for a play. Again, it's not really about, and you really don't want to, I don't think it's good practice to take somebody out that's just not doing well, because then they could end up doing worse because it's a mental thing.
Right.
Caroline might be, or, let's pull this back the way we had it. Meg might have had 4 serves straight to her that she missed. I might pull Sid out and trade it out. And then all of a sudden, the setter's like, what? I mean, the servers might be a little confused, and they might okay, I'll serve it to that person, and that works a lot of times. So you don't want to destroy someone's confidence necessarily. I might let two or three serves go to that person, and then I might switch some things around, but I might not initially take that person out just yet, unless I felt like I really had to. Now, if you have a libero, I mean, you could always sub.
Yeah, we don't.
You don't. So you could always sub in and out liberos if you had one. But this is, you can definitely change things up. Either have the same 3 people serve, rotate out one of the people that wasn't getting served to, or go 3-person serve receive still, pull the one middle person back, bring middle front back to serve receive, and they're perfectly fine here.
And the 4, going from here to 4, you just move Caroline over a little bit and Meg up.
Correct. So this could still work just like this. I just have to make sure that in my little U here that I'm making, that Caroline stays at the point of contact of the serve, that Caroline's a foot in front of Meg, or doesn't have a foot behind Meg.
Got it.
Okay.
Can we, so I could probably reverse all this on the other side when the setter's there, but could we walk through the middle? If the setter's in the middle?
Sure.
Middle back?
All right. So even though you're talking, it's not picking up on the video, so I'm just going to say that you've requested that we look at a middle back person. So here's the setter middle back. So normally setter middle back pushes up, and then this person slides over. They just have to stay to the left of that setter, and then this person comes back here. So I know I have lots of lines in here, just disregard the lines. So this is my 3-person serve receive. Now, if this person is pushing this person forward, then this kind of ties them up, which is no problem whatsoever. If I want to go to a 4-person serve receive, then I would just slide these people like this and bring Caroline back.
All right, hold on.
And Caroline just needs to stay in front of Kat. Caroline just needs to stay to the right of Sid.
Okay.
And again, in any of these situations, Meg, Nat, I'm sorry, Olivia here, Nat and Kat were the 3 people in the back row. So either one of these 2 are back row people. I can say, hey, you just come over here, call it in or out, and I'll bring Olivia over here to the middle.
Okay.
And so now I've got a 3-person serve receive with this person calling it in or out.
Okay. All right.
So as long as you're not violating any of the basically rotational violations,
Yes.
You can do whatever you want for serve receive.
Okay.
But it's very easily to transition from a 3-person serve receive to a 4-person serve receive, or to a modified 3-person serve receive where you have a 4th person back there that just calls it in or out and stays out of the play.
Yeah. Okay. And you during a match you'll swap back and forth. It's just whatever the situation calls for.
Yes. And generally these are things that we just practice, but we hope that we don't have to use them.
Do you try to just start always with the 2 people in the back?
3 people in the back.
Oh, you always pull the 3rd one off.
Yeah, so here we had we pushed Natalie forward. Generally, if the setter is either in the middle or on the right-hand side, I'll pull the left front back for those two spots, those two times. Left front comes back twice. If we're in a rotational position where the setter is back left, what I do is I push the setter forward, and then these three people, and Sid comes back here.
Okay.
Now, if you're running a 6-2, you're basically saying that Sid is your other setter. So what you could do is say, you know what, let's make it easy. Let's just leave the three people where they were and leave Natalie here as, even though she's going to be the setter, we're going to let her serve receive one. Get the ball up to Sid. Sid, you're already there. You are our other setter. Soon as you set either Olivia or Meg, Natalie will take over as the setter.
Yeah.
So the setter's base, so when the ball goes over, here are our three front people. Sid, because she is the other setter, will always play right front. It looks like Olivia's a middle here and Meg is a left front hitter, so that's why those two are switching. And I can see right now that Natalie comes over here to setter's base. Kat shifts up here to the left side, and Caroline switches back here to middle back. And that's what this is showing. So that after the serve, setter comes over here to this setter's base, and then these people shift to the left. And we make the 3-point person shift back here.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Does that help?
Yeah, no, that is really good. I've got practice tonight at 7.
Okay.
About a half hour, but tonight is a shortened one, so all we're doing is doing serve and serve receive. Just practice for a half hour, and then we're scrimmaging with another 7th grade team.